Yan, sige. Okay na yun. Oo. Sak mo lang. Yes, thank you. Yes. Ayan. So, extended na lang siguro. Okay. Nice. Ayos. Ano ba next yan? Slideshow? Yan.
Yun.
Paldo.
Ito ang gusto ko.
Kala. Hello, hello, hello. Teka lang guys Alright. Next. Alright, cool. Okay. Hello everyone. Again, my name is Rodrick Alcantara. I'm a software engineer for 7 years now, and also a tech content creator, known as Boss Rod. And right now we're gonna. Oh, by the way, I'm also a startup founder called Upskwela. So if you guys familiar with Upskwela or no, you can actually check out upskwela.com. And before we get started, pwede ba tayong tumayo muna lahat? Tayo muna tayo yan. Yan, tayo muna tayo. Yan. Sino dito yung mga nag-work na? Okay, sige, upo na kayo. Yan. Mga students. Ayan, sige, upo na kayo. Sino ba yung mga nakatayo? Ano yan, tambay? Sige, upo na kayo. So, kaya ako kayo pinatayo, wala yung kinalaman sa talk ko ngayon. Okay. Again, I'm with my beautiful wife doon sa likod. Shoutout sa'yo. And sa my right hand ko, si Gerard, na tinutulong ako for making my content and also working my startup. Okay. Today, we're gonna talk about something that is very simple. But it has a huge impact when we are designing and building our application. And that is the importance of understanding the concept of stateless versus stateful. And my goal here is very simple then. My goal is to turn your struggles when building or designing an application into the best implementations that you've ever shipped. And it is no secret that AWS is great, right? That's why we're here. Do you guys agree with me? Raise your hand nga kung agree kayo na AWS is great. Okay. Kasi pag hindi, okay. Alright. When AWS came, it actually changed the game. Especially when we are building an application. We're no longer just renting servers like before. And AWS also pushed us to think and design a scalable system that can handle millions of users while worrying less sa infrastructure. And before tayo magtuloy sa AWS, let's go back muna or let's rewind. Back in the days, what we're doing is we're building everything, lahat ng application natin in just one single machine. The legendary, the BPS. Right? Who's here? Familiar sa BPS? BPS? Di ka na BPS o puro serverless na tayo dito? Okay. So before, when we are building an application, we're just building it in a single machine. No? We stack everything, the front end, the back end, the databases, and many more. We put everything in one single machine. Syempre, at first, it's really simple. It's really enjoyable. It's so easy. Kumbaga, kasi nasa lahat na nandun na. Everything in one place. When you hit deploy, everything is deployed. And it works like magic, right? When you build the application, you deploy the application, it succeeded the deployment, and the application looks fine. And also, mapapansin nyo dito sa lahat ng mga slides ko, I'm not really good at creating slides, kaya makikita nyo puro meme. So just please bear with me. And now, but one day, we decided to deploy our application on a Friday night. And we think that everything is gonna be fine. Kasi nga, it's very simple. Everything in just one place, When we deploy things, it should work as it is. And everything looks fine. The deployment was a success. Until, nawala nyo ba? People got lagged out. Cart vanished. A payment got charged twice. And many more scary issues. And from that time, we realized when we deploy something, we're not that confident as we used to. So before, sobrang confident natin, pagka dineploy ko itong application ko in one single BPS, mag-work na to. That's it. Pero after that incident na nag-deploy ka, ang dami nangyaring issues, and then napapatanong ka na lang, what's wrong with me? Right? I'm not that confident na katulad before. And one time, or eventually, the deployment become a ritual. When we deploy, we are now waiting and hoping and praying na everything will be fine. And that's when we discovered that everything was fragile. One single mistake application goes down. And it's like a glass where it looks fine, but one small hit, it shatters easily. And then that's when I learned a painful truth that we had tied our app's memory to a single machine. Nakakasunod ba lahat? I mean, ano ba? Masyado kayong seryoso eh. Nag-meme na nga ako, wala naman tumatawa. Diba? Pero that's the thing, the painful truth is we discovered that we had tied our memory into one single machine, including all of the other applications that we have in that single BPS. And that meant that every deploy, every crash, every scale-up, every restart became a gamble. So whenever you deploy, it's like, para ka sumusugal kasi hindi ko alam kung magsasucess ba ito, hindi ko alam kung may mga issues na naman, ganito ganyan. Diba? It became a gamble. And the worst part, possibly, is users could lose data anytime. And since then, napag-isip-isip ako na there has to be a better way. Diba? Because we know that Netflix or Google or AWS or any big tech company, they were able to scale. They were able to build a really good application or really good architecture. And why me, when building an application, why I'm having struggles when scaling or at least building a better design for my system. And that's where I discover the importance of stateless versus stateful. Anyone here who are familiar with stateless and stateful? Stateless. Sir Donnie, nice. I know. I already expected that. Okay. Stateless is very simple. So stateless is right now what I'm going to share with you is the concept of stateless. This can be applied to application level, architecture level, and so on and so on. So stateless, think of it that you can replace it anytime. That's the key word that you need to understand, or at least to remember when we are talking about stateless. You can replace it anytime. So what are the examples of stateless? The example of stateless should be your API, your Lambda functions, containers, landing page, and etc. Those are the stateless. They don't have any state in their server or in their implementations. Now, on the other side, stateful is the opposite. If we can replace the stateless anytime, stateful is something that we are committed to. So it's like we're already married to it. So when you choose database, that's gonna be it. Hindi mo siya pwedeng i-change anytime kasi nandoon yung mga data mo, right? So what is the example of stateful? Stateful, databases, queues, storage, and anything that you store a state. So, DynamoDB, so yun yung mga yon. Okay? Alright. Boss Rod, why is this important? Why is this important? Because this is very important when you are building or designing your application. If you don't know the difference or the importance of stateless, you can easily mix up those application or those stateful and stateless into one stack or one server. Which, ang result, pagka minerge natin yung dalawa, stateless and stateful, the result is we're creating a very fragile system. So, any mistakes, either you're stateless and stateful, if any of those goes down, everything goes down. That's why it's very fragile. Now, so we need to separate them wisely. So, Boss Rod, paano namin siya separate? How can we separate those two, the stateless and stateful? Here's the very example. Very nice diagram, by the way. Ako gumawa niya, no? So, this is very simple. So, you can just imagine this is the BPS. You have just one server, and your stateless application and stateful application is deployed in that one server. Which is, for example, you have the stateless, which is just Node or whatever. So, it's up to you, whatever the stateless application do you want. And your stateful, which is the Postgre or MySQL or MongoDB or anything you want. And in BPS, you can also build this kind of approach, right? You can have just one database in BPS and you can have multiple stateless. And you can do that vice versa. You can have multiple stateful as well in one server. You can combine all of them in just one BPS server. All right. But again, this implementation is very simple, but very fragile. Why? Kasi any of this fails, let's just say, for example, anyone hack or something. I mean, your server got broken. Everything here will not work as expected. Magiging unavailable silang lahat. That's why it's very fragile. Now, this is at least the better way of building or designing our applications. We need to separate out our server only for the stateless and our server only for the stateful. And you can do this as well. So meaning, if you are worrying about the cost, diba? Siyempre, kung mag-build ka, marami kang masyadong server, no? I-deploy mo to, tig-iisa sila. Okay naman yon. Pero the problem is the cost. So what you can do is you can put all of your stateless in just one server and one server only dedicated for your stateful. Why? Remember, stateful is your core. Anything happen, anything na mangyari dito sa stateful nyo, everything goes down. Right? But, remember, stateless can be replaced anytime. So, anything na mangyari sa stateless nyo, you can always spin up another server for your stateless. So, that's the idea of stateless and stateful. Because on the stateful, if anything happens here, you can't spin up another one because the data is stored here. So, that's the idea. Okay. Boss Rod, so what? How is this related to the AWS? We're talking about AWS. We know AWS Lambda, serverless, and so on and so on. Why are you talking about BPS? We're talking about this is because of IAC. Do you guys familiar with IAC? Anyone here familiar with IAC? Infrastructure as code. Anyone here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, good. 8, 6. Okay. So sa mga hindi nakakaalam, IAC is a tool where we're building our infrastructure in a code. So instead of creating your infrastructure na pupunta kayo sa AWS console, magkikreate kayo ng Lambda, magkikreate kayo ng ganito, magkiklik-click kayo. Hindi. IAC is different. Ang gagawin nyo is i-code nyo yung mga gusto nyong services na gamitin. And then you have just one command, deploy, and then that's it. You have just one command, delete, and then that's it. That is IAC. Okay, IAC. So these are the example of IAC. So hindi ko siya nagamit lahat, no? Nagamit ko lang yung some of it, like yung AWS CDK, SST, if you guys familiar with SST, serverless as well, and Terraform. So yan lang yung mga nagamit ko before. And eto mga to is IAC. So you can use those things for your infrastructure as code. And now, this is a very good question. Okay, how can I build my billion-dollar system? Anyone here? Kung sino nakakaalam? Si Sir Donnie? Do you know? Anyone here? How can I build my billion-dollar system? This is a very simple question, guys. You don't know? Okay. The answer is very simple as well. I also don't know. I'm not a billionaire, so I don't know how to build a billion-dollar system. Okay, so kidding aside, pinapatawa ko lang kayo, okay? Kidding aside, the real question is, how can we build and manage system the better way? I don't want to use the right way, kasi syempre, we have our own opinions when building our system. This is the right thing, this is the right thing. So maybe we can say it a better way, okay? Okay, the wrong way. So let's go with the wrong ways. Ito medyo technical na. So I'm not sure if everyone can still follow sa magiging next na. So mag-show ako sa inyo ng example code. So this is the wrong way. Okay? Well, it's not really a wrong way, but let's stick to it, no? For now. Okay. This is very simple. Okay, we have a stack. So who's here familiar with stack? Okay, so if you're working with IAC, stack is very common that you put all of the resources in one stack and you deploy the stack. That's the idea. Okay, here, the example here is we have API stateless and database which is stateful. And then nasa isang stack lang siya. Okay? That's just the idea. It's very simple. Okay? Now, let's go to the config. So the config is something that the entry point when we are deploying our IAC or mga services or resources, dito natin ina-add lahat yon. So remember kanina, meron tayong app stack. Yan, app stack, no? And then ito na yung natin, pinaka-config natin. And we're just deploying just one stack. Pero inside of one stack, it has two resources na tinatawag, which is the API and the database. Now, when we hit deploy, boom. Ay, dito pala. When we hit deploy, everything is deployed fine, no? API and database is deployed correctly. Nandirito siya. So, paano ko ba lilipat? Yan. But, now, let's have a scenario where one of our service or resource failed. No? For example, itong ano natin, stateless natin. So since we just have one stack, and then nag-fail tong stateless natin, anong tingin nyo mangyayari sa database natin? It will not run, right? It will not deploy. So meaning, it's very fragile, right? So, nangyari is, ito lang naman yung nag-error, pero nag-error na rin tong database natin. That's the problem. Okay. So, how can we solve this? Now, we're still in the wrong way, okay? Alright, what we're gonna do, Boss Rod, kasi you said earlier that we should separate them wisely, right? We separate out the stateless, which is the API, and the stateful, which is the database. So we separate those two, the stateless and stateful. Good. Good. Alright. So now, we're gonna change the config as well, which magkakaroon na tayo ng two stack. The first stack is for the API, and the second stack is for the DB. Now, when we hit deploy, boom, successful. The API and the database deployed successfully. Now, let's do the scenario again earlier. What if there's a problem in this stack? Again, the API stack. They are already separated. Okay? But we are still using one pipeline. So meaning it runs in just one stream. Okay? So the problem is the API stack will fail, and then the database will fail or will be black as well. Kasi nga, they're still in one pipeline. So this is still the wrong way, or at least not the better way of building our IAC or infrastructure. Now, Boss Rod, what is the better way? Are you guys excited? Medyo naantok na ba kayo? Shake nga tayo ng hands. Alright. So this is the better way. The better way is, it's still the same thing. You're gonna separate those two. So, wala na kayong babaguhin. Yung ginawa natin is sineparate na natin siya. So, stateless and stateful. Now, the difference is, as you can see here, what's the difference? Kanina. Anyone here? Ano yung difference niya kanina sa config? Hindi kayo nakikinig. Ayoko na nga. Alright. The difference is, we now have a condition for when we set the stage, stateful, we only deploy the stateful stack. But if you don't add any stateful stage, by default, it will only deploy the stateless stack. So this is just a very, very simple example. But if you want to have a better handling ng mga stateless and stateful nyo, you can have a monorepo or something that you put all of your stateful in just one repository and all of your stateless in one repository. So you can do those kind of stuff. But in this presentation, I want to make it very simple. That's why I just added an if-else where we separate out the deployments for the stateful and the stateless. All right. So now, when we hit deploy, and we set the stage to stateful, that means it will only deploy the stateful stacks. That's the idea. So it will not deploy the API. Now, when we hit deploy again without any stage, by default, it will only deploy the stateless. It will not touch anything on the stateful stack. So that's the very simple idea of separating your stateless and stateful. Kasi imagine, when you are changing your API, do you need to deploy your database stack? No, right? Kasi usually, when we are building a system, yung mga ginagawa nating databases, basically, ano lang yun, parang once lang siya sineset up. Kasi database lang siya, hindi naman siya nag-change frequently. Why do we need to deploy that every time? Right? That's the idea, that's the reason why we don't want to mix up the stateless and stateful. Because the only thing that always, or at least frequently change, is the stateless. So that's the idea. Okay, now, you can also run them in parallel. So ito na, parang mga setup nyo na to, it's really up to you na kung paano nyo isi-set up yung mga GitHub actions nyo or code build nyo. It's really up to you. So you can run them parallelly. Okay, so to give you an insight of, earlier I talked about my Upskwela startup. This is how our current structure for the Upskwela. So as you can see, the client, you can just imagine the client is you, your computer. Okay? We have a load balancer here. The load balancer, it's distributing the loads or the requests to either our SST backend or stateless or our BPS stateless server. So, bakit ko pinakita to? The idea of this approach that we did is to less yung cost. Kasi we know pagka gumamit tayong serverless is very costly, especially if marami na talaga nagre-request or gumagamit na ng application. Diba? So parang, you can infinitely scale, but your build can infinitely scale as well. So that's the idea of serverless. Or at least, you know, you need to consider of serverless. Now, what we did in Upskwela is our stateless is in just one VPC. And nagbayad lang kami siguro 1 year lang. So 1 year lang, nasa 4K lang ata. For 1 year na yun. So BPS. So we don't need to worry about the, you know, the maximum load or something. If madidos man kami, okay lang. Kasi yung BPS magda-down lang naman yan. So nakaano kami, secure kami dun sa possible cost na mangyari dun sa application if mag-scale up siya. But syempre, we also consider what if Upskwela mag-boom, di ba? Syempre, marami papasok na mga users, marami magre-request and so on. We need the backup kasi in just one BPS, it can possible hindi niya ma-handle lahat ng loads. That's why we have another which is, just imagine, the code that we have here in the BPS, this is just the API, is the same thing with the code that we have here in the SST. So that's the point of stateless. The point of stateless is you should be able to plug and play your API to any provider. So to BPS, to EC2, to AWS Lambda, to API Gate, that's the stateless. You have just one code implementation, and then you should be able to deploy that in any provider. As long as your stateful is not tied to any of your stateless. And that's the point. And that's the importance of understanding the importance of stateless and stateful. Alright, so the question is, Boss Rod, is it really bad na pagsamahin yung stateful and stateless? No. Hindi siya bad. Actually, you need to understand the consequences. Kasi pagka minix up mo yung stateless and stateful in just one stack or in just one server, the consequence is if any one of them mag-fail, affected niya rin yung isa. So you just need to understand that. So there's trade-off. There's no perfect implementation in any architecture. There's always a trade-off. So you just need to understand that. And yeah, so the key takeaway is separate your stateless, stateful stack, service, resource, or whatsoever the right way or the better way. Okay? The second thing is understand the trade-off when mixing the stateless and stateful together. And the last thing is use IAC to make your infra customizable, versions, repeatable, and so on. And you can follow me in my social media if you want. Boss Rod TV, Code with Boss Rod sa Facebook, Boss Rod TV sa TikTok, and LinkedIn. And also, you can check out our startup, Upskwela. So, siguro magbibigay lang ako ng simple. So, Upskwela is it's a platform where creators can monetize their skills. They can turn their skills into an income from one day. Kasi, karamihan ng mga creators or mga professionals, they don't really create contents because of the time. And then yung returns, wala sa kanila. Kasi kailangan marami kang viewers, kailangan marami kang engagement, and so on and so on. So we build up Upskwela to have a platform here in the Philippines that you can create your courses, content, and so on, and you can create or make your communities to become paid. So you can set up your membership fee, basic, pro, tier, it's up to you. So you can check out Upskwela if you want to. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Ron, for that insightful talk about stateless versus stateful. Any questions? Will be entertaining to you? Any questions for Sir Ron? Any questions? Kahit hindi about stateless versus stateful.
Kahit ano. Kahit sa love life.
Anong ulam niya kahapon?
Sa utang. Kahit saan.
Any yes.
Yan.
Introduce yourself, please.
Ako si Luis.
Alright.
Pa-accept po ako sa Facebook. Pero nag-curious lang ako dun siyempre sa stateless or dun sa mga APIs natin, CRUD applications, stateless sila. Pero what if we're handling mga real-time applications such as real-time connections, let's say nag-handle tayo ng mga sessions. So, paano natin siya i-handle in terms dun sa architecture na ginawa?
Alright, that's a really good question. Bigyan ng jacket niya. Okay, so if you want to handle your real-time application, actually sa serverless, di ba, you have limitations to handle your real-time. Kasi nga serverless, so there's no state na pwede mong i-store yung mga connections ng real-time mo. So usually what we are doing, we have our own stateful for the Redis. So we have centralized stateful. So meaning any stateless are just connecting to that Redis. So meaning kahit saan naka-deploy itong mga to, it doesn't really matter because the state is stored somewhere that is centralized that can be used in any of our stateless. So that's how you can implement it.
Okay, thank
Cool.
you. We have another question. Please.
Yan naman ang pahirapan.
Hello, Boss Rod. I'm Kane Rodrigo. Yan. Ako na po pa-accept din siya.
Sige, accept natin lahat yan.
Kane Rodrigo po. Tapos, my question is, pertaining to your topic po for today, like stateless versus stateful, does it apply din po ba in a networking concept? Like, mga ganun? Yung network access, AWS, or, yeah. Sorry, or the topic today is just mainly on web development po talaga?
No, not really. I'm not sure lang. I'm not very expert when it comes to networking. But maybe to answer your question is we can just understand the concept. So the meaning of stateful and stateless is like you can apply that to not only for the web, but to something that has state and without state. So it's stateless and stateful. So you can apply that to, let's say, for example, on the authentication, for example. Authentication, you're storing something, your session in somewhere. And then your API or middleware is just bridge, right? It's just processing your request and so on. So pag the things sa network, I'm not quite sure, but I think there's also stateless and stateful concept sa network side. I'm not just familiar. Pero kasi stateful and stateless is something that can be applied to anything that has a state and stateless. So that's why you just need to understand the concept. That's the idea.
Okay, thank you. One last question. Anyone? Yes, sir. Ito ba? Please introduce yourself. Sir, papatakbo ako dito na nakalinis.
Hi, I'm Ron. I'm your number one basher.
Yeah.
Kidding aside. So you said some tools earlier. You use Terraform, you use CDK, and SSD. So when is the time you would use CDK over Terraform?
Yeah, okay. This is a really good question. Bigyan ulit ng jacket niya. Sa'yo, t-shirt lang. Pinahirapan mo ako. Okay. For the tool, actually, it's more on a preference, no? So it's not like SST is better than CDK, you know, Pulumi is better than Terraform, and so on and so on. It's just preference. So any of those tools, like Terraform or CDK, have its own disadvantages, pros and cons. So sa CDK kasi, if you're a JavaScript, TypeScript, you can easily use CDK. Now, if you want to have something that on top of CDK, you can use SST or serverless. No? Pwede mong gamitin sila. And for the Terraform, kasi meron silang gaya ng sabi ko, may pros and cons sila. So, one example is SST V2 is using CDK. So, they migrated yung SST V3 to a Pulumi, which is on top of Terraform. So, meron silang mga binigay na pros and cons kung ano yung limitation ni CDK. So, I guess for me, if I'm gonna choose one tool, I'm just gonna go with just kung ano yung alam ko. I'm gonna stick with that first, and if na-hit ko talaga yung limitations and so on, that's where the time I will decide to at least look into other tool for IAC for the alternatives. So, we don't need to overthink everything. We just need to start and keep moving forward. If we hit the wall, that's the time we research something else. So, yeah. All right, cool.
All right, thank you so much sa ating one and only Boss Rod. And to honor his content creating skills and for teaching us how to be content creators in the future. We would like to thank him with this certificate of appreciation.
Next time, huwag kayo maglalapit may dala sa sarili mga jacket na ipapamigay. Ito na wala kami ng sponsor dahil sa iyo. Sige po, smile na lang po sa ating group.
Saan?
Ayun po.
Okay. Ay, wala pa pala.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, thank you so much.
Once again, welcome natin si Boss Rod!
So, parang hindi ko narinig yung energy na